All right. You should be able to hear me now. Okay. So, now that I have my microphone set to not mute, I think it got bumped in the process. You should be able to hear me now. Please let me know. Alright, Light says loud and clear. Perfect. Alright, so this means that I can get started with the Colonel Sanders Dating Simulator Day 2. Thank you to everybody who joined me the last time that I did this. I had so much fun with the ridiculousness. I hope you guys did too. We're here to see what happens with more exciting hot kitchen action. So, I don't think there needs to be anything more said. I sort of remember the plot from before. I don't remember anything, but I am not too concerned about that. We'll just continue charging on forward and see what happens. I remember we had really bizarre things like a corgi instructor, a robot that my best friend was dating, Ashley with way too many letters, something like that, I'm kidding, and so on and so forth. So, let's get the game started. I'm actually going to pull up one more thing before we get going so that I can see your chat comments. I forgot to do this ahead of time because I was so excited to get going with this. I'm also apologizing for the glare. There's not too much that I can do with the light shining behind me. That's the sunlight coming in through the windows. It will change in a few minutes, so let me just quickly pull something up, and then we will get the game started. And Light's talking about what was happening in the meantime, which is awesome, so that we can get that little bit of a recap. I do remember that cooking battle. I was shouting during it. My microphone was a little bit weird during the entire time. I apologize for my weird microphone settings. I actually do not like this headset microphone at all. It's either too quiet or it peaks, and peaking distorts the audio quality. So I sort of have had to pick my battles with it, and I have decided overall that a little bit of distortion, but still being able to hear me, is better than me being too quiet. But maybe someday I will get a microphone that does not irritate the besmuckers out of me. And yes, besmuckers is now a word. I know, I'm so professional. Aren't you just so proud of my amazing professionality? Let's get started. Yeehaw. Okay. I should be all set to get going now. I forgot to pull up the stream chat on my other laptop. And Fury says, I'm just arting in the background over here, don't mind me. Aw, but it's so much fun to mind you, my wonderful friend of doom. And you like besmuckers? Why, thank you so much. Let's hope that we enjoy all the other besmuckering and smucking and smooching and whatnot that's gonna happen pretty soon. Let's open the game! Woot woot woot! I am much excited. Fury, oh, you will mind you. Yeah, I will mind you. We're gonna have to watch that opening animatic again because it's so hilarious. Fucking. They had way too much fun with this opening. Seriously, the game was worth playing just for that opening. Oh, Light's got chicken. Just perfect in theme. I'm getting myself some orange soda. Alright. There we go. Nice, awesome intro has been completed. KFC the anime. I mean, Fury is not wrong. In any way, shape, or form. This is entirely KFC the anime, and it is glorious for it. Okay, let's click continue. Dun dun dun! The beautiful weather feels like an insult. Inside of you, a storm rages. It's Colonel Sanders! He's probably here to tell you that he and Ashley are in love and have decided to get married. And he won't even ask you to cater his wedding because you're a terrible chef and an awful person. You try to hide from him, but he approaches you directly. I do not remember this. Why are we doing this right now? I suppose I could click the load game, but I'm assuming that this is right up to speed with where we left off. I know you're hurting right now. Not just from the devastating loss, but from that run-in with the mixer and that small fire. We should get that checked out. I'm fine. Can't you just leave me alone? I'm a loser. I'm not fit to fill your fryer. Okay, that was a good line. I'll never be a master chef. And now he's gonna wax eloquent at me. Oh, the wrong lair. That is always the saddest thing, Fury. Rest in peace, your lair. Alright, here we go. Colonel Sanders is gonna be chicken tender at us. Failure is a part of life. Not just for you, but for all of us. Do you think I've never failed at anything before? That's exactly what I think. Well then, think again. I wasn't always the man you see before you. Enrolled in culinary school, incredibly handsome, successful, motivated. Okay, my memory is starting to be jogged. Well, handsome, sure. I was born that way. But I've walked other paths and arrived at dead ends. I was passionate about life, but I failed as an obstetrician. I was passionate about justice, but I failed as a lawyer. I was passionate about livestock, but I even failed as a mule handler. That one was especially humiliating. Mules can be so cruel. I lost my business partner to a gunfight. Right. I didn't know. People see my delicate ribbon tie and my well-kept beard and assume that I've got it all together. Which is true now, but it hasn't always been. Yeah, I'm remembering this conversation now. Okay, spiffy. Which is good because, yeah. If I did not remember what I had been playing, that would be sad. Although that would not be unprecedented. My memory is not the best, let's be real. It used to be good, but now I have become an old fart. I'm moving y'all so that I can see y'all better. Yum. Don't mind me moving a computer. This is how I see your comments easily. It's a good flute part. Simple but effective. Man, it's such... I fucking love the stereotypes of this game. There we go. Aight, I'm back. Maybe. No! Go in, you stupid little plug. There. Okay. People see my delicate... Yeah, I read that. Okay. Sounds like this guy could really use a hug. Hug him! Hug him! I resolved then that I was going to amount to something. No amount of hours, labor, or money would deter me from giving the best I had to give. As Colonel Sanders changes focus, you can see something ignite inside of him. A burning passion! And lights shouting, hug him. And of course you love how he's a hot BISHIE. You horny bi. Just kidding. One has to remember that every failure can be a stepping stone to something better. My new dream is pure. It's honest. It's something that a humble man in a crisp white suit can be proud of. I will create a new chain of chicken restaurants that will bring joy to the entire world and will make up for my past misdeeds. Oh, and fucking Pop. I hate Pop. Have I mentioned how much I hate Pop? And he just goes, "Yay!" Just as your moment grows intimate, you're interrupted by a threatening, shadowy presence. And I remember this. It's the Spork Monster! Battle scarred from the night before, you prepare for the worst. Borko? It is I. I know I said I wouldn't be back, and after the whole fight to the death thing, maybe you don't really want to see me anymore, but I just wanted to say that I was wrong to attack you, and I apologize. I know what it's like to always look over your shoulder. I love how the mouth is miniature sporks for teeth. Monster problems, am I right? And the eye is just, yeah. The arms and legs are sporks. Fury is just concerned straight noises. I love you. Aw, thanks, Borko. I'm glad there are no hard feelings. Getting jumped by a giant creature in the dark of night can really rile a person up. I also want to apologize for the way I switched right into attack mode. I know that you're strong, and cooking school can put a person under a lot of stress. I actually used to go to this school. I wasn't always a spork monster, you see. I don't believe it! You were human once? Well, no. I was a golden retriever. But I was still a student. Until one day, some mean kids with a magic spellbook cast a dark enchantment on me, and I was forever transformed. A magic spellbook. Precisely. I had procured a copy for myself, but somewhere along the way I've lost it. If you find such a book, I beg you, respect it. You're a powerful chef, and shouldn't rely on such dark and evil magic. No, you should be protecting the innocent from those who would cheat them through sorcery and guile. If you need me, don't fear. I will be there. Well, you better come back now. The plot's resting on it. Sounds like there are some bad cooks in the kitchen of life. Of course we had to have that quote. Wow. Haddock together, I am sure we can defeat them. Come back to my hideaway and we can discuss? A personal invite! You can't imagine what Colonel Sanders' home must be like, but it sounds like you're about to find out. Ooh la la. Fury, who would turn a dog into a spork monster? People who like sporks. I have no idea. Oh, here we go into his house. Can we talk about the baby picture, or whatever it is on the wall still has like a goatee? There's a camel and, oh, Kentucky, of course, there's a Kentucky. There's a rooster. Candle, I can't tell what the logo is exactly. Fancy ass home. Stepping inside Sanders' home, surrounded by his things, you start to feel a special bond with him. It looks like you live such an exciting life, Colonel Sanders. Every day can be an adventure if you approach it with the right attitude. Long ago, I made the decision to never stop searching, never stop working, never stop imagining. Have you been working on any new recipes of your own lately? I'm always excited to talk about food with another ambitious chef. Well, there is something. It's just a side dish that I've been tinkering with, trying to find the right balance of flavors and textures. I'm not sure I've nailed it yet, but I'm close. Tyr says, I find that an ironic question directed at you, Haddock. What, the spork and the dog question? Okay, shoot, should I admit the horrible? So I've been rewatching Futurama, right? And everyone always goes on and on about how the worst episode is Jurassic Bark. You know, the one with the dog. I honestly never feel anything during that episode. I don't have that sort of emotional attachment to dogs. And even though I enjoy pets and I give them lots of love and care, I don't really feel sad when they're gone. Just a little bit of a disappointment of, oh, darn. So, like, Jurassic Bark does not get to me. The episode about Fry and his brother's son, that makes me cry. But, yeah, so maybe I am the person who would turn a dog into a spork monster. Goodness knows I have more opinions about sporks. I'm joking. Okay, Fury, I don't know anything about Futurama. It's a good show. I love it. I know some other people in this group have watched it. Tier says, okay, the working on a new recipe. Oh, yeah. Yeah, me working on a recipe? Yeah, that I see what you're joshing about, and that is very true. I suck at recipes. Although, one thing popped into my head as soon as my character said that, and it's so stupid. It is the dumbest, stupid thing that popped into my head. And we're not repeating it out loud, except I am in about 5 seconds if you cajole me. See, my brain went to dating simulators on other bizarre topics, like the ones I am passionate about, and I'm shutting that out of my mind forever. And why are you pretending you won't say it? Because I have some level of dignity left. This much dignity left, but it's still dignity, and I realize I'm mispronouncing dignity multiple times in a row, and that's not helping my case. The light's starting to get dark in here. I'm turning on another light. But see, just think about it, you know. Okay, my brain was really being stupid about, well, what sorts of dating simulators could I do? And it went to different musical people from all sorts of different eras. Of course, it went to Bluegrass, but it also went to, like, Beethoven dating simulator. Which people would be more familiar with is the name Beethoven. So, yeah. Everyone just insulting my lack of dignity. I suppose I am streaming a game of me dating Colonel Sanders. But to be fair, I am not the person who has the hots for him as much as Light does! Light knows the very first thing that popped into my head. And now everyone is mentioning my harem list. I hate you guys. Okay, a Morden dating simulator would actually be hilarious. It would actually be hilarious. Oh my goodness, Tier, yes! Mass Effect dating sim, Mass Effect dating sim. I know the game already has a lot of romance, but that just means you have to do like the full animated Mass Effect, just everything. You know, I mean, there's already the animated Mass Effect movie. Just take styles from that, design all the characters, and date it, and I can finally date a Solarian, which is so overdue. Haddock harem dating sim. Don't you fucking dare, Light. Fuck you. Tier, the reason the speed limit's there on the messaging is so that you quit assaulting me with your horrible, cruel accusations of all the fictional characters that I hold and cherish deep within my soul. Alright. We have not been progressing on the topic at hand. Let's continue playing the game that we're here for, as you guys are going to continue to roast me in the chat, I am sure. I'm going to pretend not to see it for a few minutes. Okay. So, Colonel Sanders' eyes perk up as he starts to wonder what dish you might be describing. Now I'm just imagining Bender with his terrible cooking. Oh my gosh. It's meant to pair with something spicy or something crispy. Both, perhaps? Now you've got him right where you want him. Should you reveal your new creation to him or keep it secret just for you? Well, he has his secrets, and he hasn't told me everything, but he did tell me one secret ingredient. I feel like I should be nice and give my revelation. I'm sure he would respect it either way, but I want to show him I trust him just like he trusted me for that one secret ingredient of his. Oh boy. Light, get out. I also do have RPG Maker and so much stuff. And Tears, I'd rather your friend make a Mass Effect dating sim first. There's so much overlap. Oh my gosh. Group Discord project? Just kidding. If we made a group Discord video game, I would just attack all of you guys with all of my lines of programming. I would just attack you guys. So let's reveal. We all want to date Tali. Let's just be real. Tali's hips are the best. You decide that you're ready as you'll ever be to share your original cooking with Colonel Sanders. Before you can talk yourself out of it, you decided to dive in headfirst. You reach into your lunch bag for a special dish that you've been keeping on ice all day. I present to you my original coleslaw. And of course we get the nice, sparkly beautifulness. The shredded cabbage dish glistens in the light of Colonel Sanders' Lux hideaway. Magnificent, did you hear him gasp in the excitingness? Together you chow down on the creamy slaw until just a spoonful remains in the bowl. Okay, please, oh damn it, it's not like spaghetti where we can Lady and Tramp it, but we have to do, please be nice and cliche and dorky and weird with the last spoonful, please. Oh my gosh, really? Do you mind if I hold on to the last bite? I'd like to have it around so that I can admire its taste later and think back on this moment. You could offer to make him more, but he seems like a very sentimental kind of guy. Sure, why not? Please make yourself comfortable. I'll be back in just a moment. Cook me something in return? Cook me something in return. You realize that now would be the perfect time to do some snooping. No! No! Bad video game me. Bad me. Around the room are various items that you can look closer at. Each item seems to radiate memories and emotions. Okay, that's fine, snooping. Looking at things like his photos, that's fine. Also, can we, like, appreciate where he lives? That window and that outdoor shit, like, that is beautiful out there. I would live there in a heartbeat. Alright. Light. Sentimental. He's sentimental and you love that view. It's such a beautiful view and you want that house. I would not complain to that house either. I love me some big ass windows. Also just having more room. I need more room. Tap on it. Yes! Exactly what I hoped for. I'm tapping on the candle first because I want to see what the logo is. It looks like a palm tree from here, but I doubt it is. Oh, it's a flower. With a kernel tie down beneath. A scented candle. You pick it up and try to identify the smell. Power tool? Freshly starched collar? Piece of wood floating in a lake? Summer of 69? No. It's one of those secret recipe ingredients. And it's blanked out. Tap on an item. Okay, let's do more tappy tappies. See, I've been mentally preparing what my dream house would look like, and I know that I have to have an office/music room, and the music room is just going to be great, and all of my musical instruments will be just happy and breathing, and there'll be a music stand, and it'll make me happy. And then there's going to be a library, and shit like that. I would not be surprised if instead of the master bedroom, I turned, like, that area into the library or something. 'Cause books. Dear. Okay, there are some scented candles that I really enjoy the smell of. I am a whore for vanilla smelling candles. It has to be like that French vanilla, that like really rich vanilla smell, and that's my favorite candle smell. Though I do like others. Okay, let's look at the Kentucky picture. That looks, the first thought that popped into my head was that looks like Bruce Wayne, but I'm sure that is not a crossover with Batman. One of the framed photos shows an old man who looks a bit like Colonel Sanders standing with a friend. They hold fried chicken drumsticks and appear to be cheersing them. You look closely and see there's a short inscription. I wonder who my friend Pete is. camels. The photo appears to be Colonel Sanders, except he's an old man visiting the pyramids of Egypt? I have to wonder how much of this is referencing the actual human being Colonel Sanders, since we're saying, like, the alternate universe actual IRL person, presumably, or something. I don't know. Let's just all take a field trip to the Beauty and the Beast library. And steal the books. Just kidding. Maybe this is where he discovered one of his secret herbs and spices? There's a door opening. I'm sorry, I have to look at this photo. Oh my gosh. An adorable little baby boy crawls across the floor. From the goatee and mustache combo he sports, you figure that this must be Colonel Sanders himself. That, or maybe it's the drumstick that he seems to be waving like a rattle. Yikes. Who frames a baby picture of just themselves? Probably the same type of person who would make their own face the logo of the company they founded, am I right? My gosh. Tap on an item to discover more about the Colonel. Let's look at chicken. Oh man. Now that I'm on the spot, I can't do my amazing chicken noises. Yay, chicken. Fury. Babies with mustaches. It's just Quran. Amazing. That's a good reference, though. Chicken. You notice a very realistic stuffed chicken. Rooster. Actually, yeah. A very realistic stuffed chicken sitting on a corner table. When you pick it up, you realize it isn't just realistic, it's real. Taxidermy? Must have been important to Colonel Sanders when it was alive. A little note clipped to the chicken's foot reads, "The true state bird of the great state of Kentucky." What, would you rather me do, like, a fish face? One of my completely useless skills that I taught myself in elementary. Anyway, animal impressions of the day done. Tap on an item to discover more about the Colonel. Is that a comb? A lock of silver hair is woven through the teeth of the comb. Upon further inspection, you realize that the hair therein isn't just silvery in color. It's actually made of spun silver. Tap on an item to discover more about the Colonel. Almost sounds like he's an imposter, just kidding. Hey, you did the fish face too? High five. You gaze out the window across the vast lake and mountain range beyond. Wow, I almost wished to see a moon out there so I could start singing Blue Moon of Kentucky. Ignore me. Just then, the ghost of... Oh, what the fuck? I was not expecting that. Are you thinking about heading out into the world on a quest to avenge my death? What? I never even learned your name. Why would I avenge you? I could just tell you my name right now. Can't you see I'm in the middle of something? You open the window a crack and the ghost is swept out with a breeze. Wow, okay, that was not anticipated, but that was amusing. Okay, what's this thing? I assume it's a vase and not an urn. Oh, it is an urn. I thought it looked urn-like, but I didn't think that they would actually have us with a fucking urn in this game. Of course, this also has a game with the Spork monster in a corgi for a teacher, so why the hell not an urn? You take a closer look at a large urn sitting on a nearby pedestal. There's a plaque on it. It's dusty, but when you wipe it off, you can read the inscription. It says, "Here lie the ashes of all my past career and business failures." Poor guy. Okay. Now we just have these two little buttons left. This must be where he keeps the secret recipe. You think for a moment. What number is important to Colonel Sanders? then it dawns on you. As soon as you dial 11, 11, 11, the safe opens. Inside, you find a single note. What's the 11, 11, 11 about? I'm thinking like chicken scratches, but that's not it. I feel stupid. Can chicken be prepared sashimi style? And there's the door. That was a dramatic noise. You open the door to Colonel Sanders' closet and find a row of his signature white suits hanging within. You take one off its hanger and try it on. The jacket is a bit big for you, but it's soft and comfortable. You give yourself a deep hug, breathing in his scent. They say that home is where the heart is. Is this what they meant? Before you can look any further, you hear Colonel Sanders returning. He has a new dish that he has been working on, and he wants you to taste it. Is it the chicken sashimi thingy? You try to act casual until he asks you why you're wearing his jacket. I appreciate that I did that one last, then I wonder if it changes depending on choices. Oh, 11 herbs. Thank you, Light. Thank you. Thank you. And Fury's just calling me out for the buttony butts. Thanks. In my defense, butt and thing are very similar words. I mean, if shit and thing can mean the same thing, then why not butt and thing?
Aww.
I don't usually loan those out, but I must say it does look good on you. Oh crap, the jacket. You forgot to take it off! There's options. There be options here. I do not know which one to push. Does anyone have a particular inclination or gumption of what I should select? Lights shout and make a move, huh? I'll see if anyone else is this stoked. No, I did not expect anything else from you, you fucking dork. Alright, I'm gonna make a move. Why the hell not? We only play this game once. Let's be romantic. Whoa, whoa, whoa! This isn't that kind of game. Not that we blame you for trying. I love his face. He's like, what the fuck? But still. Game over? Oh, fuck you. Yeah, try again. Cold is probably the best option. Yeah, let's go back to the cold. Okay, speed through. Zoomy, zoomy, zoom ahead. Fury is just like, thanks. Okay, so reveal it. Blah, 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 blah. Okay. I can also do, blah, blah, blah. I keep forgetting that there's actually game overs in this fucking game. How rude of it. Oh, I got wrecked. Thanks. How rude of you. There's the ghost. Comb of Doom. The Candle of Doom. Fishy, fishy, fishy. The suit. Alright. Okay, so it's one of these. So Monty says this game doesn't allow you to get the Colonel's chicken. And Light's like, excuse me, this is a dating sim. You grumpy butt. Okay, so now we have to do either cold or the truth. Let's do the truth. He's the sentimental, honest type of human. Let's continue to be truthful. You confess. I think I've developed feelings for you. I might be developing feelings for you too, but I'm concerned. I can't let anything get in the way of my dreams. Overwhelmed, you take off the jacket and run for the door. But the thought of leaving Colonel in the midst of such an emotional breakthrough gives you pause. You stop yourself. Colonel? Yes, Haddock? I honestly think this may be the beginning of something wonderful. I think you're right. We should take things slow. You talk late into the night and drift off into a slumber. Dream sequence, oh boy. Oh boy. Oh boy. You awake to a beautiful morning in Colonel Sanders' hideaway. Did you make the right decision on how to respond to Colonel Sanders? Only time will truly tell. Today is a day that could change the rest of your life. You think about the new secret ingredient you just learned about. In some jurisdictions, it's not even legal. But if the recipe is a secret, how will they know? El gasp, Colonel showing his illegal side. Okay, so Tyr says, had to bow out. What did I miss? Seems Light was being thirsty. Yeah, Fury's right. Light told me to, you know, hit big on Colonel Sanders, and the game was like, how dare you, and, gave me a game over, which is hilarious. Here, do y'all want a little bit more light on my face? It's starting to sunset over here. I'm tripping over the fucking wire, like I usually do. Let there be light! Let's see if that works a little bit better. Of course, there's already a light. There's a horny bisexual Light who is talking about how hot Colonel Sanders is. I have to tease you. I love you. Okay. You have offended its chaste sensibilities. Yep, that I have. Mwahahaha. Okay. Here we go. Let's continue. Your thoughts are interrupted when Colonel Sanders emerges into the room. He's holding a gorgeously plated breakfast, and your mouth waters at the sight of it. Here's a simple breakfast I just whipped up. It's meticulous. You taste Colonel Sanders' food, and it takes you on a journey. When you return, he's waiting to ask you an important question. Will you marry me? Just kidding. So, would you say that we're the perfect match? How presumptuous! My cuisine and your taste buds, that is. Ooh la la. Such confidence, such grace. Could he be the world's greatest gift to cookery? Fuck no, I'm not taking him down a peg. I'm gonna flatter him. Fury, I'm ignoring that. Yep. You know, I think we might make a great team. A single tear begins to pool in the corner of his eye as he gazes out the window. I love how they, like, overdo the romantic sappiness of him. Oh my gosh, it's so fucking ridiculous. And with the right business partner, I know I can't fail. Business partner? Could he be talking to you? It's all happening so quickly. Overcome with emotion and confused by your feelings, you're on the verge of tears. Unable to speak, the only answer you can find is to run out the door and get home. There's still one more day of school after all. The University of Cooking School Academy for Learning waits for no one. You get home to find something very surprising. Your best friend is there waiting for you. Oh, that's not surprising. This is a fucking anime. Dating simulator parody. Okay, Tyr, you're gonna have to explain how I have lots in common with Sanders. Is it the obnoxious waxing eloquent that sounds so fucking stupid? I'm trying to learn how to be less talkative. Obviously, it's a work in progress. Where have you been? Because I had one heck of a night. Wait, I'm checking something. That's what I thought. The kanji on the wall is, the word for chicken. Okay. Continuing on. Dramatic. That's the entire list, says Fairy. Ouch. Right in the truth. I've been desperate to talk to you about it, but I couldn't find you. I got worried that something had happened to you. It's okay. I was just... But now that it turns out you're fine, I can finally get you up to speed on the saga of Miriam! Sure, but you will not believe what happened to me after school yesterday. I went on a date! I think I can believe that. Since I'd been partnered up with Clank, he asked me to go out with him. Of course, I told him, you'd better keep your dials turned to polite and respectful. I'm not that kind of girl. But he was just interested in spending some one-on-one time together and getting to know me, so I said, yeah, sure. I can get to know the little metallic guy. Long story short, he took me skydiving with his friends, but things quickly spiraled out of control. Did she just say skydiving? As if that's a typical first date to go on with a talking, cooking pressure cooker. I said cooking twice, wow. Yeah, she had a date with a robot, so have many other people. I'm trying not to talk about Mass Effect again. Trying not to talk about Mass Effect again. But I'm thinking so much about Samantha Trainer and just talking about Edie's sexy voice, and of course, Joker and Edie, and just... Shut up, Haddock. You are playing a different game right now. Skydiving. That is a good date. You have met a very good robot. Skydiving is a good date. No, this makes Miriam a robot fucker. And now I'm not really sure where we stand! You don't give Miriam time to tell her whole story, however. Bottling up the details of your own night is just too much to bear. And I went on a date too. Back to Colonel Sanders' house where I spent the night with him. You what? Nothing happened, but the emotional connection. Wowzers. Light says, I'd love to watch a Mass Effect stream, to be honest. I've been thinking low-key about doing a Mass Effect stream because of the announcement of the remaster coming out next year. I want to play through the originals again before everyone starts getting back into the Mass Effect world. So I am honestly considering doing some Mass Effect streaming if people would be interested, of course. Yes, robots fucking is totally separate from monster fucking. I find it completely different. Whether or not you want to bang a machine is so different than whether or not you're interested in the biology of different species. There's just such a different mindset about it and such different experiences. I'm gonna say without going too NSFW, I feel like it's completely different. Is it a robot or an android? Okay, now we start to get into the gray zone, huh? Okay. Do the Mass Effect stream, I might join you. Now I'm tempted. I know that we were doing those multiplayer Mass Effect 3 stream stuff tier. I am up for that anytime. Literally. Also, tonight I have nothing going on, so if I finish this game early and you just want to fuck around, I will. Okay, Miriam offers to support you no matter what you do. Together with your bestie, you feel like you can do anything! When you arrive at school, you encounter your rivals in the quad. You can tell from a distance that they're picking on Pop, though he himself might not quite grasp that fact. Because You know, he's Pop. What's a swirly? It sounds delicious. Oh my gosh, are we 6? Okay, well Pop is, but you know. Oh, it's great. I'll order you up one right away. I'll have my swirly with sprinkles, please. Sprinkles is a dog and a treat. I hate Pop with a passion. Tyr says you're in bed. Yeah, that's fair. Okay, and now we're both debating the robot fucking thing. Yeah, exactly. Exactly, Light. Dude, I feel like it's very separate. You can get your swirly dipped too. Why don't you pick on someone your own size? Because I'm literally the biggest person in this school? There is that horse that Colonel Sanders rides to school, but who would dare pick on such a gentle and beautiful creature? You've got some nerve, Haddock, suggesting I pick on a defenseless horse. Now you're twisting my words, and I won't have it. You clench your fist, but the injury from yesterday's mixer accident makes you wince with pain. Doesn't look like you can go cooking like that. Might as well just give up. I'll never give up. Ever. Colonel Sanders arrives just as it appears things are close to boiling over. A naturally intuitive person, he senses that something has been going on. Is everyone excited for the final day of school? Haddock, how's that hand feeling? I'm sure you'll be back in fighting form by this afternoon. Aren't you concerned about my hands, Colonel? Yesterday I almost broke a nail winning so hard. Technically, I don't believe a winner was decided, but your presentation was quite impressive. What is he doing complimenting her? But what about the flavor of my delicate, warm, gooey chocolate sauce? It was clear that you're passionate about how your food is received. Oh, what a backhanded ouch. That's a lot of words to say it was bland. And he did it in completely southern style, insulting, let's be real. Excuse me, Haddock? I am more than capable enough to speak for myself. Maybe you could tell me more of your thoughts as we walk into class, Colonel? You know, Ashley has good hips. Anyway, I'm always interested in discussing the fine art of fine foods. See you inside, Haddock. Annoyed by Colonel Sanders' inability to see Ashley for who you know she really is, you walk across the quad to get some distance. In an attempt to distract yourself from how slighted you feel from that interaction with Ashley, you take out the spell book you recovered yesterday and start flipping through the pages. Whoa! That's that book? It looks like bad news. It's just something I found lying around. It would appear to be some sort of grimoire, but I don't really believe in that magic stuff. You met a Spork Monster! A grimoire? Like a book of spells? I don't know. Who would spend so much time decorating a magic book if it weren't really powerful? Have you met geeks? We like to decorate anything just so that it looks cool and look like it's magic. I can think of one surefire way to find out. Yes, do magic. Do magic. You open to a page covered with arcane warnings. Cast only in case of extreme emergency, it says around the edges of the page. I could use a spell here that says it will erase anyone I choose from all of my memories. If I scrub out Colonel Sanders, it would probably help me focus better on the upcoming final exam. No! Bad idea. No. That is way drastic. Couldn't you do something else like anything else not rooted in dark magic? Maybe tie a string around your finger? Okay, fine. It is drastic. But desperate times call for desperate measures. Oh, for the love of fuck. You've got a memory erasing spell book sitting right in front of you and a pretty good excuse to try it out. No. You take your friend's advice and put the book away. It's almost time for class. Sprinkles is already in the room waiting for the students to arrive. He clears his voice to make a quick announcement. I want you all to know I feel something of a dog moment coming on, but I assure you it's nothing to be afraid of. His cute little nose scrunches up and he begins to breathe quickly. Wait and see, says Light. I might wait and see. Let's see what the hell happens. Sprinkles stops in his tracks. He focuses in on the window. Please be like a squirrel or something stupid. The room is deadly silent. When you follow his gaze, you see a tiny orange squirrel perched on the cherry tree outside. Sprinkles turns feral and runs to the window of the classroom. He begins barking uncontrollably at the squirrel outside. Terrence! I told you never to come back here, Terrence! I will destroy you, Terrence! Sprinkles is barking ferociously, drool flying off his face. The squirrel looks over, but he doesn't say anything back. You wonder, is that even a talking squirrel? Who named him Terrence? You'd better not show your chubby cheeks around here ever again! After Sprinkles is satisfied that his presence has been felt by not only Terrence, but any other squirrel in hearing distance, he returns to his professional tone. I apologize for the outburst. This actually brings up an important point. Thank you, Haddock, for reminding me to dole out this indispensable bit of wisdom, you see? But before he can go any further, Miriam's love drama spills over into the class. Oh boy, here we go. I told you to save it for after class! You think I wanted to be thrown from a plane strapped to a stranger? Miriam and Clink appear to be arguing, but you still haven't learned to speak Clink's language of mechanical noises. But no! You had to show off your cool kid friends Jeff and Joanne, Jay and Jay forever. Watch us form a triangle in mid-air as we descend. Triangles are the strongest shape, don't you know? Yeah, well, that doesn't make it a great date. Beep. Then take Jeff and Joanne with you. You can all hold hands as you pedal down the mountain or off a cliff for all I care. Clank begins to shudder. Steam pours out the gaps in his panels, and then a loud ding stops him in his tracks. Beep! Poor eye. Thermometer thing. No amount of seasoning is going to make me want to eat that, Clank. What the fuck? Clank burps out a completely deep-fried sneaker. Considering that he himself had wheels, not feet, it's not entirely clear where it came from. In terms of deep friend footwear, I guess it looks okay. Clank slowly rolls out of the room to be alone with his shoe. Everyone tries to pretend like they didn't see that entire thing go down. Oh, come on. I would have gone on a skydiving date with you, Clank. I'm siding with Clank! As I whack my headphones nearly off my face. Nothing like a loud public breakup to cast a pall over the final day of school. Well, that was unfortunate. But we mustn't be distracted from what lies ahead. The final competition showdown challenge exam! TM. I'm still working on the title, but I think you get it. Test time approaches. See you all in the arena. Dun, dun, dun! Here we go. Oh boy, here we go. See, now my brain's like, if I did a musician dating simulator, maybe I should just do all the musicians and like pick famous musicians from all these different eras. And just make it like a music school. Oh my gosh, my brain is actually going this direction. Please stop my stupidity, guys. I do not need this. Nope. Nope. No. Oh boy. Fucking brain. Hey, Miriam? Are you okay? Yeah, she looks fine. Look at that face. That's the okay face. Okay? I'm so mad I could smash a tiny mug, spilling several droplets of hot cocoa all over the floor. Okay. Ooh, Elvish. That would be a good one. I was trying to think of some sort of rock star that would be a good one. Because we have to have, like, all the types. So we have to have, like, the heavy metal or goth or, you know, something, like, dramatic, dark, whatever character. We have to have the classical character. We've got to have Scruggs. I mean, we have to have country somewhere, right? So why not pick my favorite? I'm trying to think of all the diversity that should be done. I mean, of course, we have to go around the globe, too. Oh, man. Now I'm gonna be starting to look up famous musicians from, like, all over time in history. Pythagoras, honestly, would not be a bad option. Oh my gosh. No. Bad Haddock. Ooh, fuck yeah. That's a really good point for... That's a really good point, Light. Yeah. Ooh. Ooh, yeah, both of those are really good. I know a little bit more about Ozzy Osbourne, but, you know, this just gives me an excuse to read up on every fucking buddy. Oh, there's so many options. So much that could be done. Fuck. Haddock, concentrate. You have too many projects. The last thing you need is a really stupid dating simulator written by an aromantic, asexual dumbass. Anyway. Okay. Miriam's angry. For stupid reasons. In my opinion. How could he embarrass me in a class like that? In front of everyone! You're the one who started it? Her tiny cocoa is a delicious treasure, so you know that this breakup is no joke, even if the source of her frustration is such a silly boy. Oh my fuck. Okay, you're right. You have to have Bowie in there. There's no way. Like, oh my gosh, you're right. And his tight pants. And that hair. Yeah, yes, you're right. Absolutely mute him. Gosh, there's so many possible entertaining options. Haddock, pay attention, pay attention, pay attention, pay attention. Yeah, I'm not gonna. Oh my gosh, okay, yeah, Light has a good list. I know that you know this, but I'm gonna say it out loud. You don't need anyone. Me and you, we're gonna cruise through this final test and hit the carpool lane to Success City. Oh fuck, here we go, partner stuff. Miriam brightens up, imagining the wind rushing through her short bangs, but she hesitates to embrace the feeling all the way. You're not going to saddle up on Colonel Sanders' stallion and ride off into the sunset without me? Of course not. Well, maybe sorta, but I'm sure there's a pony out there with your name on it and a ranch big enough for both of us and whoever else we want to bring along. Yes, well, you're being useful right now in your uselessness. If it's not Pop and Clink or anyone else you meet today, tomorrow, or this whole year, so what? You're a special person who shouldn't settle for the first someone to show a little interest anyhow. Miriam gives you a big hug and wipes the tears from her cheeks. I should really review my menu for today. I'm going to make a very special soup. Why are you buying clothes at the soup store? Sorry, I can't see that word soup without thinking about certain things. And I bet that Professor Dog is gonna love it up. While you were pep-talking Miriam, you completely missed lunch. But that's okay, because you had a better idea of how to spend the time before your exam. You've decided to head to the arena early to practice a dish. This is it. The location of your final challenge. A test of will. A test of courage. A test of talent. And a chance to beat the pants off of Van, the supposed man, and his evil counterpart, Ashley. As planned, you begin to run through a quick test of a recipe you've been working hard on. Haddock's famous chicken pot pie. After practicing for months, even though the class is only a few days, making this dish comes second nature to you, and you're able to get a fresh pot pie in the oven. But as soon as you do... Ooh, Fury finished art. Congrats. I know you're gone right now, but still saying congrats. Your cram session is interrupted by Colonel Sanders and petals flying into an empty building. Haddock, what are you doing here? There's still time before the final exam. Oh, just taking it all in. I'm big into visualizing success. I'm looking at my station and picturing victory. The pot pie has begun to bake, and the smell is slowly filling the space around you. Visualizing, huh? That's too bad. I was hoping you were here cooking something delicious. You'd usually happily share your food with anyone who is hungry, but the last time you let Colonel Sanders get in your head, it cost you a cook-off. You decide that it's time to put your cooking above your romantic desires, but that decision gets hard to stick to when the oven timer goes off behind you. I'm just gonna talk about the practice dish. Okay, you got me. I'm doing a little bit more than visualizing. I know. My nose can smell a pot pie from 400 yards. And Light says, yeah, he appreciates honesty. He does. And I am... well, I can be an honest person. That's an oddly specific distance, but you'd expect nothing less from such an oddly specific man. You knew it was a pot pie just from the smell? Not just a pot pie, but a chicken pot pie with an all butter crust. And my nose is telling me something else. Oh no, is it burning? No. I can smell that it was made with a heaping helping of TLC. But it'll probably start burning any second if you don't pull it out. The moment of truth. Dun dun dun. Hi Fury, hello for being back. Wow. It's the best pot pie I've ever tasted. I've always loved country cooking, and I could eat this all day. There's no time left. The final showdown is about to begin. Sprinkles lays down the ground rules. All the dramaticness. Back to this exciting theme. Light, he's so muscular. Oh my fucking hell, you nerd. There are no rules. That is, except to cook with everything you've got. You step off for the cook-off of a lifetime. You decide that mac and cheese plus the pot pie you've been practicing are just the dishes that'll push you over the edge to victory. Meanwhile, both Van and Ashley are prepping wildly elaborate dishes for their usual over-the-top selves. Miriam has her giant magnifying glass and several sets of tweezers. She's definitely prepared to go big, going small. Colonel Sanders seems to be harnessing his how did I read that wrong? His 11 herbs and spices, but he's trying to find a way to improve on something perfect. His original recipe, fried chicken. The intensity in the room starts at a full 10 out of 10, with a frenzy of action. Everyone is calling out really cool special cooking moves as they prepare their food. Wow, this is getting serious. Colonel Sanders batters his chicken as it levitates through the air. Egg wash! Miriam furiously injects ingredients into an itty-bitty pot of broth. Best friend Baster Blaster! Van flexes his pectorals as he chops open a sea urchin. And I know I did not flex my pecs. Let's rockin' Ashley scoops her pastries off the tray with lightning speed. Shallow personality spatula! Even Clank gets in on it. 5-dial pressure point chicken cooking technique! Wait, when did Clank learn to speak English? I totally was like, that's interesting. Flavor Town time, shouts Fury, and this is exactly every anime ever. It totes is. It's the singularity, as was foretold! We mustn't let it happen or the appliance uprising will take us all! Self-destruct. Van quickly unplugs Clank and rolls him out the back door of the arena. What's the fucking... Her knife looks terrifying. As you frantically prepare your dish, you notice Ashley has her spell book out. Is she going to use some dark magic to turn the tide? You've got a book of your own, and you're desperate not to see her win another battle. Should you take the opportunity to fight magic with magic, even if it's almost certainly evil magic? We're gonna do it the hard way. For a replay of this game, oh my fucking hell, a replay, I can see what happens if you cast a spell. I'm assuming you get a bad ending or something. Do it the hard way. This is the story of becoming a hero the hard way. Who needs magic when you've got passion? I'm going to do it the hard way! Colonel Sanders sees that you've chosen to win on your own terms, and he gives you a subtle wink from across the room. I believe in you, Haddock! Miriam notices too. And I've always believed in you, Haddock, since we were little kids, because I'm your best friend forever! Oh, look, we've got friendship magic. You turn to notice that Miriam is at your station, cheering for you. Fury, your food would come to life and kill everyone. I like that idea. That'd be amazing. Miriam, what about your dish? If you're here cheering, who is cooking? Tiny food, short cook time. I'm actually already done, so I thought I'd help you. Oh, that's sweet, but Miriam tosses a handful of spices directly into your boiling noodles. It's the secret ingredient! Oh no. However, she doesn't know that you lied and the ingredient was made up. Where in the world did she get Eye of Newt from? The boiling pot explodes, sending Miriam flying backward. Fury says you'd fail the class, worst ending. Somehow I read you'd as yodel. Let's not think about why I thought yodel. Okay, boiling pot explodes, sending Miriam flying backwards. The watery noodles begin to swirl in the air, bubbling up into a dark cloud that thickens and congeals before your very eyes. Oh, she did the spell. Fuck. It is I, Steve, the Spork Monster. Steve? Wait, what happened to Borko? You're not here to battle me, are you? We Spork Monsters are many. I think Borko had the day off. But you have conjured Steve, and I hate to battle. So I'd say you're doing pretty alright. Oh. Hey, you're in the middle of the cooking competition. I love this stuff. It's better than TV. You crazy kids and your culinary skills really impress me. Mind if I hang out? I'm sorry, Steve, but I'm kind of in the middle of something. Do you mind? Steve, the Spork Monster, notices that you've got the grimoire stashed beneath your cooking station. I see what you're up to. Crisscross some magical items and accidentally summoned me, huh? Oh, poor Steve. Look at the tears. You guessed it, sorta. If you're here, would you mind tossing some fresh noodles in a pot of salted water? I'd love to. I've always wanted to be a top chef, actually. You know, when I was just a little spork pup back in the old country? You can feel Spork Monster winding up to tell a very long and involved story. You don't know exactly where they came from, but it seems like it was probably lonely there. Actually, you know what? Maybe you should watch from the stands. I really need to focus on this competition. Aw, sad face. I understand. It's kind of like that time in monster school that I'd fallen asleep during scare tactics class, and when I woke, oh my fuck. You toss a serious stare at Steve and he takes the hint. Never mind, I'll tell you later. Good luck. Having suffered this huge setback, you don't know how you could ever win. Obviously this one. I see the deep down within yourself, and I'm thinking about, like, Undertale. Wow. I can do this. I have what it takes. I came here to win. Your hair turns mac and cheese orange as culinary energy flows through your body. My heart is pure, my hands are steady, my taste buds have been preparing their entire lives for... Yes, Haddock, you are the chosen one. You will avenge me. The power you've been summoning immediately fades back out. You've interrupted my inspiring monologue. Sorry. My heart is pure, my hands are steady. My taste buds have been preparing their entire lives for this moment. I will show the world my cookery. You begin to levitate off of the ground. Energy courses through your body. You know that with this power, you can do anything. Except turn back time, which would be super useful because while you were powering up, your chicken pot pie overcooked in the oven and can't be served. But don't worry, dear Haddock, you may have suffered some setbacks, but all is not lost. Impressed with your fortitude, Colonel Sanders decides that you have earned his support. I've been watching you today, and I must say, I'm truly impressed. You've been thinking on your feet and rolling with the punches. He steps up to your station and stands right beside you. Going super sauce. Oh, this is all saucy now, ain't it? I'm here to help. All you've managed to make is mac and cheese, and time is almost up, so you're gonna need it. But, Colonel Sanders, what about the test? What will happen to you? What about the rules? But there are no rules. Following the rules has never really been my thing. I follow my heart. He's crying. What a guy. Colonel Sanders unfolds a delicate white towel to reveal the most delicious fried chicken tenders you've ever laid your eyes on. And besides, sometimes unexpected combinations can have surprising effects that surpass their individual efforts. Are you suggesting if we combine forces, we can form the perfect food union? Time's up, students! With time expired, it's the moment everyone has been waiting for. You must now prepare to present your dishes. A handful of students stand tall, but the class seems incomplete. It seems we're missing some students. Pop? Clank? From off screen, you hear a pure and innocent giggle that can only come from one student. I'm flying! Sounds like it's coming from that broom closet over there. Miriam, would you mind? Inside of the closet, you see Pop hanging on a broom hook by the elastic of his underpants. Pop, get down from there right now! Let me guess. Did Van have something to do with this? When someone asks for a wedgie, who am I to refuse? I thought a wedgie was a salad. Looks like Pop is eliminated from the challenge, seeing as he didn't cook anything. I can't feel my legs. May I be excused? Sure. You kids and your pranks. I must say, it's not the worst prank in UCSAL history, but it's not exactly yearbook material. Wait a second. Pranks. Pranks. Clank! Where did that pressure cooker roll off to? You wait to hear a signature whir, beep, or other onomatopoeia, but there's none. Somehow he must have gotten unplugged, I guess. We'll have to figure that out later. I'm starting to wonder, I feel like ever since this entire game started and there's comments been like, you know, whether you date Pop or Clank or anybody else, I feel like this game has multiple possibilities where maybe Miriam dates Pop, depending on your choices. Like, you know, when she had that one cooking thing and she either went with Clank or Pop, you know, I'm guessing that Like, the entire way that Clank and Pop got removed at the same time, too, just confirms my suspicions. Guess this means this game has replay value, question mark? Okay. That leaves only 4 remaining students. Please collect your final projects. Yes, it has been a long semester. Wow, 3 whole days long. But after days of hard work, the time has come for me to eat. Miriam, please step forward. Now describe your dish. I've made tender udon noodles and savory soup. And it is so fucking tiny. My word! It's so delicate! Is that a teeny tiny naritomaki? I spy afloat in its itsy bitsy bowl. Yes, chef! Please call me Sprinkles. Chef is my father's name. Yes, Sprinkles! And some green tea made from baby tea leaves that I picked myself. Sprinkles carefully sniffs around the dish before opening his mouth and letting just the tip of his pink dog tongue tip into the bowl. Sublime! Would anyone else like a taste? Oh, come on. I'm not one of those dogs who doesn't floss. I even have a really cute electric toothbrush for dogs. Fine. I'll enjoy it all by myself. And in a flash, the entire meal has been devoured. Not that it took much. It was less than a thimble's worth of soup. A+. Rarely do I taste a dish with as much love poured into it as yours, and she's so happy. Miriam is overjugged. I was reading the word hug and overjoyed at the same time, and I said overjugged, which, you know, that applies more to Ashley because she has the... Anyway, Miriam is overjoyed. She gives you a huge hug. Thank you, Haddock, for helping me believe in myself. Van, you're up! Now, describe your dish. I made uni over smooth egg custard in an axe-hewn urchin shell topped with caviar. Wow. Did you skewer one type of urchin with spines from a second different colored type of urchin? Yes, Sprinkles. A bit much, don't you think? That's exactly why I did it. A bit much is my kind of brand. Doesn't it look cool? Sprinkles leans in to sniff the uni, but he can't get his nose close on account of all the spikes. He begins to paw at it erratically, causing the custard to slosh around. Woof! Woof! Please be gentle with my cuisine. That was not a dog growl. Finally, Sprinkles goes all in, tongue first, but he can't get past all the needles. He reels back as his tongue is poked and prodded. Ow! My tongue! The face right there, the face is pretty good. The professor appears to be having an allergic reaction to the sting. Will he be able to eat the rest of the food? I can't eat this! It keeps poking my tongue! Disqualified! A stunning turn of events. Who would have thought that serving food in a bowl made of needles could make it Who thought that serving a food in a bowl of needles... I cannot... Wow. That was an absolute clusterfuck of a sentence. Who would have thought that serving food in a bowl made of needles could make it difficult to eat? There, and I can read the sentence. Ew. Dejected, Van does not go gentle into the night. I fubbernucked it very good. You're right, Light. Is qualified for glamour? Don't discount simplicity. This isn't the last you've heard of me. He looks so anime. Before forcing us to endure his swollen tongue for another moment, Sprinkles graciously laps up a bowl of milk. I know. Yeah, I'm a dog and I drink milk. Get over it. Sometimes it helps calm my agitated tongue. Next, student! Ashley, it's time to step up. Now, describe your dish. I made orange blossom Turkish delight in a light rosewater syrup, topped with French meringue and connected by sugar glass. Fancy. That actually doesn't sound too bad. Indeed, it's quite delightful. However, I'd ask that you please refrain from eating it or attempting to taste it in any way. It's very fragile and meant to be a display piece. Oh, for fuck's sake. Don't eat the food at a cooking school? Oh my gosh. Yeah, okay. This reminds me of a story. One time my sister and I were at a restaurant, and near the front of the restaurant there were several dishes that looked like desserts, and we thought they were display dishes, and there was like some chocolate syrup drizzled over them, and my sister was like, no, 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 it's all display, it's all fake, you know, you can touch it and you can prove, and I touch it and it's actual chocolate syrup, and I'd actually put my finger into someone else's dish. Yeah, I got reminded of that. That was a long time ago. I was a kid. Got toast in your ears or something? Haddock? I told you, it's a display piece. Ashley, I must say, it is beautiful. However, this is a cooking competition at a cooking school. Please just eat it anyway. Yeah, which is why I cooked it and did an extremely good job cooking it too. I didn't realize that we were having an eating exam. Oh, she's totally lying the fuck out. If I wanted to be judged on eating, I'd go to the College of Eating, the school for the hungry. I hate you. Actually, I like her better than half of the characters in this show. Game, whatever. I suppose you could smell it if you absolutely insisted, but don't breathe too hard. You might disrupt the sugar spiral. If the food cannot be eaten, it cannot be judged. You are disqualified. Rage overtakes Ashley, and she finally cannot keep her two-faced routine up. You wouldn't know high-end cuisine if it cooked you! And with that, Ashley storms off to rededicate herself to being the best, but this time without being shackled by trying to be fake nice and liked by everyone. This isn't the last you've heard of me, either. Are they gonna be like the boss fight? If this class gets much smaller, I'll be teaching myself. You and Colonel Sanders, the final cooks, step up together. 2 chefs? What began as a bowl of delicious mac and cheese has become something else. He examines it closely, sniffing and eyeing the bowl. Uh-oh. I don't have a good feeling about this. From somewhere in the room, a literal drum roll plays. Just when I thought I've seen everything in this kitchen, you give me this thing and completely blow me away. In my 49 dog years of life, I have never tasted anything so delicious and perfectly balanced. It's so delicious, in fact, that everyone passes the class. You pass, and you pass, and you get a pass. Thanks, Oprah. Everyone gathers around and partakes of the mac and cheese bowl. They all seem to transcend this reality into another dimension. You win! Together, you and Colonel Sanders have made a new menu item. The new menu item is so impressive, even the Van and Ashley are drawn back in by its magnetic fragrance. When they gaze upon your mac and cheese bowl, they admit that you are indeed an excellent chef. Sprinkles declares that you have passed. Everyone has passed. There were supposed to be more battles, but come on. How could they be better than this one? Now that the school year is complete and everyone has graduated, the students return for one last assignment. To get their groove on! Alright, dance party, y'alls. The cafeteria has been completely redecorated in order to serve as the site of the school's graduation dance. Compared to the massive high-tech cooking arena, the humble decor seems downright cute and cozy. Can we kiss Colonel Sanders? DJ Dog is in the house! You knew that Sprinkles was a master chef, but also a world-renowned turntablist? Who says you can't teach an old dog new tricks? Whoa, different outfits. Those fit them a lot better. Oh man, and that looks really good on Ashley with her thighs. I swear I'm not a thigh person. I just noticed. Okay. Van and Ashley tell everyone that they've committed themselves to righting the wrongs they did while they were the villains. For a moment, you actually believe them. Not another haunting. Please tell us what the fuck the haunting is about. No ghosts allowed at graduation. It's clearly written in the school's bylaws. I was never actually a ghost. It was all a trick to get you to finally notice me. Oh, amusing. And now that everyone is together, it's the Spork Monster. He has totally mellowed out. Everyone, the Spork Monster is no more. From here out, I prefer that everyone refers to me by my new name, Party Monster. Students tried to finish what he had to say, but everyone is too wrapped up talking to Spork or Party Monster. They're never gonna tell us that student's name, are they? Like, never. Dejected, student walks off. Wow, someone who can actually pull off overalls. Maybe things didn't work out for Miriam romantically, but she found the love in her cooking, and you know she's gonna do great. A red carpet rolls out across the floor of the ballroom. It's like a Hollywood movie premiere. Who could command such an entrance? It's Pop. He's arrived late to the dance, but apparently for good reason. Walking the carpet, you see perched atop his dirty chef's hat a crown. Welcome back, Pop. I know you weren't able to complete the final exam and accept your diploma, so we had it mailed directly to your father. We figured it was the least we could do for the school's dean. Oh, now I get it. And we got a new wing on the school, not to mention the honor of educating the son of the chancellor of such and such. Was there any doubt that's what he was? The music at the dance is interrupted by the sound of sparkling and electrical hissing. I almost said historying? What even is that? It's Clank, who has arrived late to the dance. Now that I have graduated, I can reveal my truth. Wow, he's still doing the talking thing. I am Clank and I am not of this earth. I am actually from a faraway planet in another dimension. I'm not even surprised. What? I actually feel like I knew this the whole time. Now that I have learned the ways of your kind, I must return. Miriam, will you come with me? I don't know what to say! Besides, no, obviously. I have just begun to learn who I truly am. This isn't the time for me to devote my life to figuring out who you are, Clank. You're blown away by Miriam's maturity. It's pretty clear she has managed to surpass you in that regard. I understand. Kind of. Humans are weird. A portal opens up and Clank disappears through it. Finally, Colonel Sanders arrives. Oh, look. Without the apron. I am obligated by law to ask Light, what do you think of his latest outfit? Shouting casual wear. Fury, I leave for 10 minutes. What on earth did you miss? Oh boy, so I passed the final exam by Colonel Sanders and me combining dishes. When we combined dishes, the professor was so impressed that he actually let everybody pass a class, even people who had been previously disqualified. Now we are doing a dance in the cafeteria, and we are all dressed in casual wear, hanging out and showing our happiness. Pop is the kid of the chancellor, which is how he got into the school in the first place. Clank was a robot from not the planet Earth and has just disappeared after Miriam has given him a final rejection, and now Colonel Sanders has appeared. Furious is like, Sanders not wearing apron, indeed, and you can see his muscles. Howdy, classmates! Just like the first day you met him, he has come prepared to feed the entire class. However, it's not enough to just give them a bucket of chicken. This time, it's a full meal. Also, can I just say the background is really pretty with the blues and the purples? I didn't get to be the most famous chicken man in the history of chicken and man by not reminding people to go out and buy my chicken. There we go, and it says the end question mark. Oh my gosh, Light. Totally not eye emojiing them biceps tastefully hidden by his shirt sleeves. Uh-huh, uh-huh, uh-huh. Sure, Light, sure. Nope, not the end, as I figured. As everyone feasts on their delicious chicken dinner, Colonel Sanders finds you sitting at the edge of the dance floor. Haddock? What are you doing sitting all alone? Oh, you know, just waiting for the right person to ask me to dance. Hint, hint, nudge, nudge. I wonder, might you tell me what are the qualities that you would expect to find in such a lucky person? Off the top of my head, I don't know. Spicy musk, a tidy goatee, and a degree from the University of Cooking School Academy for Learning, just to name a few. It truly is my lucky day. He has really thick eyelashes. That's what makes him look so good. Would you dance with me? Yeah, I would love to. As you glide across the dance floor, hand in hand with Colonel Sanders, the future stretches out in front of you. And once my 100th franchise is up and running, I'll be ready to take a day off, and I'll be so glad to spend it together with you, Haddock. How sweet. We'll work together and play together. Colonel Sanders stops dead in his track. Work together? I think this is something I'll just need to do by myself. But who will help you run your restaurants? I don't believe I need help. Besides, based on your time at school here, do you really think running restaurants is the best path forward? Could it be? You found a love connection, but failed to earn Colonel Sanders' respect as a chef? Can you live with only half of him? Will you be able to endure sharing him with his other love, the life of an entrepreneur? This is hurting my heart. And Fury saying the NSFW chat will be interesting tonight, won't it? I suppose I could enroll at a pastry school. Oh, my dear Haddock, I'm sure you'll find your place eventually. And along the way, you'll have me by your side. The end. And back to the front page. I assume we're gonna go back through our little montage thing, in which case I have to watch all the more carefully now that I've seen the full story. My favorite part is honestly the opening. Let's be real, this thing. Especially when he's like dramatically chopping. Okay, that's a good part too. Alright. Just checking to see what else there was. Okay. So I'm wondering if there's a better ending. I could look up online and see if there's a way to earn his pride in your cooking as well. Although, you know, it's still a satisfactory enough ending. I guess. And Light says it is a goddamned quality opening. Yeah, it's a really good opening. How I feel about the rest of the game is sort of, I guess it's sort of eh. I feel like they tried a little too hard to bank on the absurd rather than really sapping out the good of what they had. You know, things like a dog teacher, a robot from another dimension, classmate, a little kid, you know, that sort of thing. I feel like that detracted from the story rather than added to it. And I felt like if you really want to do like a Colonel Sanders dating simulator, really go all in on the Colonel Sanders part of it. And that's what I would have liked more than anything else, rather because that alone is a premise that's bizarre enough for people to get to play it. You don't need to add more to it. So for me, I found the game sort of mediocre, fun to go through with you guys, of course, and make jokes about it. But I do think that there's a lot of potential that they did lose through various aspects of the game. Especially, like, you know, dating-wise, there's more dating-like things I wish I could have done with him, further I could have gone with him, etc. It's just, there's a lot of potential that could have been there that just was not touched upon. So let's see what people are saying, because I'm noticing some comments. Light says this, it's satisfactory enough. No, you didn't get nearly enough of the Colonel's heart. Yeah, exactly. And it would have been nice if there was more Sanders and less Supernatural. Yeah, exactly. Like, we didn't need the Supernatural in it. We literally just give me Colonel Sanders and a restaurant. You know, instead of like a coffee shop AU thing, just do like a restaurant sort of thing AU. Make me meet him at his restaurant. We end up hitting it off on food. He asks me into the kitchen inside the restaurant. I show him how I can cook. We get interested. I visit his house. I learn more interesting secrets about him. There's a conflict between him and me, or some sort of dissonance that I have to get around cognitively, some sort of cognitive dissonance, and just build upon that and just keep it that simplicity. Keep the setting simple and go all out with the Colonel Sanders thing in the dialogue. There were so many dialogue opportunities that you could pull out. Pun after pun after pun, really ridiculous loaded jokes, references to the real world. There's so many things that you could do with it. Instead, they decided just to go all out on random absurd things that really didn't seem to have much connection. So, yeah. we're vetoing the clowns. See, now we need to write the AU where it's, you know, Ronald McDonald and Colonel Sanders date each other. You know, that's what my name should have been, would have been Ronald McDonald. That would have been funny. Like cognitive dissonance of the ethical implications of having the hots for your boss. There we go. A very simple one, but a very valid one, and one that can be written well. See? Yeah, something like that. Yeah, things like that. And also, like, you know, going back jokingly, semi-jokingly, to the famous musician dating simulator, whatever, that we were joking about, is, you know, if I hypothetically did that, of course it would have to be in a fantasy, a random-ass environment, because not all those people would be alive at the same time. But I would want to keep it grounded in the reality of their personalities and who they were, and make references to who they were as people. So some ways that you would get dating points would be showing that you actually know things about them. So, I mean, without being a creepy fan, right? You would lose their attention and affections if you were a creepy fan. But show that you know and sympathize with Beethoven's deafness, you know, talk about how much you like X composition, or, you know, this composition or that composition, and just I wouldn't say make it educational, but have it grounded in that sense of the truth, so that it gives a little extra fun to the people who end up dating that character. People who date Beethoven probably know a little bit about Beethoven, and they'll be charmed by the fact that you make reference to real Beethoven life stuff in your game, while also having the silly romantic dating simulator setting to it. I think would be a better way of going about it. I remember that Toothless Fury, and you said, how about Ronald? Go for it. I would never say no. I mean, obviously, if you want to, but you know I would totally cheer you on. Blight says, I actually expected Sanders to be the professor, because the only way this could get more cliche is to have the hots for your teacher. I expected him to be the teacher, too. I expected him to be the teacher. It was interesting that he was the student. So it's like, you know, some of the cliches that they could have really sapped on, like the teacher thing, they didn't. And then other cliches that were in there, they went in on that really weren't necessary. Like the cute, stupid, obnoxious kid thing. I hate pop. So, yeah. But, you know, it makes for a unique stream, and given as this game is free, how can we really complain? I mean, these people made us think about what is it like to date Colonel Sanders, which no one would have thought about before in their entire fucking lives. So huge kudos to the team and the dorks who came up with this idea and implemented it. We do need to give credit where credit is due, even if we artistically would have done something different. Huge applause to them for giving us this entertaining prospect of us having to admit that Colonel Sanders, as a BISHIE anime boy, is rather attractive. Fury today on questionable drawings in Fury sketchbook. Yeah, really. Why, I can't believe I'm thinking it's out of character for Sanders to be a student instead of the teacher. Oh my gosh. But you ain't wrong, my dude. You ain't wrong. Well, that was pretty entertaining. And it is now 9:15, so I've been streaming for about an hour 45 minutes. While I am still in the mood to continue gaming, I think I would rather call this, rephrasal. I probably should call this a night. I've done more than enough streaming, and it's been wonderful hanging out with you guys between the banjo practice and this game. And I have a game that I finished that I can tick off my list. This means that the next game that I will be streaming will probably be Edna and Harvey. I'll finally face the area that I'm stuck on. I've been avoiding it because I've been stuck. That's honestly the truth, is that's why I've been avoiding it. We'll get past that, and I feel that once we get past the area I'm stuck on, Edna and Harvey, we're getting to an exciting new point. So that would be cool. So I can keep you guys updated. Honestly, if I don't have work tomorrow, I could do tomorrow, technically. What ended up happening is that my work ended up running out of data today, so I didn't have any work to do today, which is one really good excuse to finally get my buttocks back streaming, and I had a great time. And Light points out it's getting close to bedtime too, so you shouldn't push things. You're right. Yeah, I'll see you guys in the Discord chat. Thanks so much for hanging out, Fury, Light, Tier, everyone else who came. I enjoyed it. And I will not continue yammering away as I am wont to do. Instead, I will keep you all updated on various social media platforms for when I might stream again. In the meantime, have a wonderful evening. Live long and prosper.